Guys? I'm Tyler Rodekirk, and today I was speaking on the topic of should we drill for oil in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. So first off, what is a National Wildlife Refuge? This is a chunk of land in modern-day Alaska, and it consists of 19,286,722 acres, and is completely untouchable because of a wildlife refuge. Now, the thing that makes it so important is that underneath this refuge sits the largest oil deposit in the United States. So if you look right here, that's Alaska. And that little guy is the wildlife refuge. That's Fairbanks, Anchorage. So, how much oil are we really talking about? At prices around $100 per barrel, the U.S. Geological Survey guesses that the amount of economically recoverable oil in the U.S. portion of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge is approximately 7.69 billion barrels of oil. This is an amount that is almost equal to the entire U.S. consumption in 2007. So this means that this deposit can supply every person in the country with oil for almost an entire year. That's not even the biggest benefit of the oil. The biggest benefit is the revenue from the oil. At $100 per barrel and 7.69 billion gallons of it, this would turn revenue into $769 billion. If you subtract the cost of finding it, developing it, producing it, and transporting it, then the financial net benefit is close to $613 billion. That's with a B, billion. So, another important issue is what about the environmental costs? The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge protects habitats that support caribou, musk oxen, wolves, wolverines, polar bears, and also approximately 135 different species of birds. Although it's extremely difficult to plan out the exact effects that drilling is going to have in this area, it's clear that it would have its repercussions. The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge is huge. So 19,286,722 acres. Now, not all of that was going to be dug into in order to obtain the oil underneath it. The hotspot for obtaining this oil is approximately 2,000 acres. So if you look here, this is the wildlife refuge, and this little part right there, that's the drillable oil. That's what we're looking for. So what that means is that 19,284,722 acres will still be left untouched as a wildlife refuge. That's an area that is pretty much comparable to the size of South Carolina. Nevertheless, when it comes to decisions as symbolic as this one, there's a lot of thought that has to be put into all aspects of it. Based on a recent study, it was found that in the $100 per barrel scenario, the financial aspect would be partitioned as follows. $271 billion is going to go in industry profits, $72 billion is going to go in Alaska state revenue tax, and $270 billion is federal tax revenues. So this would be a total of $342 billion in tax revenue. Think if the budget for climate change was at $340 billion. This number accounts for all expenditures to make countless changes in improving the environment and the effects that us humans have on it. Our country right now is in dire need of new ideas to satisfy our demand for energy. At the moment, our country is not making the necessary efforts to deal with the devastating effects of climate change, and one of the reasons is our lack of budget. In my opinion, the money that the government will receive could be used to make such dramatic changes in our society toward the environment that it would be well worth the economic cost of drilling in the refuge. So that's my opinion. Feel free to comment down below and agree or disagree with me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks, guys. Hope you're having a good summer.